Hey, it's Becky with A Better Way to Homeschool. So, why are homeschoolers so weird? This is something that I wanted to talk about today, and I have a perfect visual for you. Let me just pull it up. Um, homeschoolers are weird because, they're our kids, right? So, they're weird just by default because they have no chance of not being weird because they're our kids. Check this out. This is the perfect visual of a homeschool child in a group of normal kids. Homeschool kids stand out. They just do. And the longer you homeschool, the more your homeschooler will stick out like a sore thumb. Or in this case, a beautiful pink flamingo. Why? Because their environment is different. Now, when you look at these two different bird types, they're both uniquely and wonderfully made. They're fantastic. And yet they're different, right? You've got your flock of pigeons, which just kind of do the next thing, just kind of go with the flow. And then you have this fantastic flamingo, taller, standing above the rest, a little odd and quirky, and that bright, vibrant pink because of what it's eaten, because of what it's ingested. The beautiful thing, one of the things that makes homeschoolers so weird, comes from the fact that they're allowed and given the opportunity to chase their passions. So, as your kids, when they're young, it's hard to tell what those passions are. But as they get older, closer to 10, sometimes as late as 14, you'll start to see these natural leanings, these natural passions, talents, and abilities start to come to the surface. And as you're able to lean into those with your kids, giving them picture books and videos and art supplies and classes and courses and tools and resources so that they can learn to um, to grow their skills and talents better, then they start to become these talented kids that other people look at and they kind of shake their head like, how is it that your kid is so talented? How is it they're so gifted as a writer or a musician or a painter or a sculptor or a mathematician, scientist, fill in the blank? It's because they are there's this beautiful environment in homeschooling when you lean into it, that it's protected, and it is this atmosphere of embracing learning. It's almost as if the kids don't realize that it's not cool to learn. And so they're given this extended period in time that they can explore these things that are quirky and weird. It's gorgeous. Our homeschool kids are not meant to be pigeons. They're just not. All five of my sons, in particular, stick out like sore thumbs wherever they are. The historian just blows everybody away with his knowledge about history. When he was in college, the assignment that he was given for his final in one of his classes was to remove an event or a person from history and then rewrite history from that point. He didn't pick someone close. He picked Julius Caesar, and then he rewrote history without Julius Caesar. It blew my brain. I've got a screenwriter that has written and animated his own movies and things, and is well on to writing his own fantastic, if I don't say so myself, movies and stuff that'll eventually come down in the future. You know that I've got a master guitarist, a scientist, and the multi-talented youngest in the crowd. But it's not because they're special, because your kids are special too. My kids are special too. Every single child on this planet is special. All they need is the ability to lean into their own uniqueness, their own quirkiness. So as a possible new homeschooler, this may seem overwhelming to you because I was raised around pigeons. I went to the public school. I was against homeschooling when we first started, because homeschoolers were weird and I didn't want to raise weird kids. I forgot to factor in the fact that they were going to be weird because they were my kids. That's just all part of it. But I was totally against homeschooling, and I couldn't comprehend a life that was different from being a pigeon. I couldn't comprehend it. What going to school at 8 o'clock in the morning, coming home at 3, doing everything according to a bell and a whistle, turning in assignments, cramming for tests, all those things that I grew up and I thrived in that environment. I loved school. Homeschool just didn't make sense to me. Like, what do you mean teach your kids at home? What do you mean lean into their passions and abilities? It took me years to deprogram myself from being a pigeon and to recognize when my husband and my own kids started to show the fact that they were in fact flamingos, and not because they're just big. So I have a free class called Homeschooling with Grace and Confidence. And what it is it's a stepping stone to get you moving toward this idea of being okay raising weird homeschoolers. Because when you look at that picture, I'm guessing you're like me. You see the pigeons, and I love birds of all shapes and sizes. I think they're amazing. But when I look at that picture and I say, who do I want my kids to be? Without a shadow of a doubt, I want to raise a flock of flamingos. I want them to be strong on their feet. I want them to be able to eat upside down if they so choose. I want them to eat a diet of knowledge and wisdom and kindness and character that changes them from the inside out, so that when people look and they go, oh, there's a bunch of birds, they go, wait, tell me about that flamingo. And I know that I can guess that you probably have that same feeling, not because we're special, not because we want our kids to be better than, but we want to give our kids that leg up as they get ready to launch into life. So whoops, I hit the wrong one. Weird homeschoolers. Yeah, homeschoolers are weird. They're weird because over the course of 10 or 20 years, they still love their family. They like to hang out as a unit. They see something and they're curious, and then they'll chase that knowledge down. They're open and they're teachable, and they embrace their weirdness. Like it's not uncommon to have teenage homeschoolers that are running around playing like 6-year-olds in this fantastic game of imagination and creativity. It's not uncommon to see a homeschooler that's given the chance to become a master guitarist, an amazing ballerina, a brilliant writer, and a creative and artistic painter or musician or historian, etc. Not because necessarily that they're smarter than the pigeons, but because they have the time to actually lean into those things that they're interested in. And they're given the opportunity to rest and to be bored. Boredom is so magic. It's the magical secret sauce of teaching your kids, giving them space in their day, in their life, so that they can breathe and get on the other side. Creativity lives on the other side of boredom. And so homeschoolers, are they weird? You bet they are. They're weird because they're amazing. They're unique. And they've been given the opportunity to thrive right where they're planted. Now, that flamingo is not going to eat the other pigeons. Instead, it's just standing out amongst the crowd. And so you, as a homeschool mom, dad, family, you're going to raise up kids that are going to stand out. And it's going to have come from the inside out because of what they've ingested. It's going to affect the way that they carry themselves and the way that they look out in public. And the beautiful thing is that at the end of the day, they're going to make this world a much better place because of the opportunities that you and they have been able to embrace because of this beautiful thing that we call homeschool. So anyway, this is Bekki with A Better Way to Homeschool. If you've watched this far, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.